Height is a vital factor in golf, but you should not be discouraged if you are not very tall. Tall golfers have the advantage of club head speed and shot distance, so it goes without saying that shorter golfers need to put more effort into their game. However, there have been several short golfers that have performed at an elite level. Who are they? Watch completely for the details. The first three golfers on the list stand at 5'8". First, we have Francesco Molinari. Great golfers are frequently produced by the Molinari family. One son making it onto the PGA Tour is one thing, but having two sons capable of winning on the PGA Tour is quite another. 5'8" tall, Francesco Molinari began playing professionally in 2004. Francesco Molinari has 10 victories on the European Tour and finished in the top 10 at other major competitions. The top 5 at the Masters was one of his best results. Since Molinari plays a lot of golf, you can always count on him to participate in the major competitions for which he can qualify. Next, we have Bobby Jones. Although Bobby Jones is technically an amateur golfer, he is nevertheless regarded as one of the all-time greats. Bobby Jones genuinely enjoyed playing golf and had no desire to use it to make money. Jones was only 5'8" tall, which was not particularly tall. This was much shorter than expected on the PGA Tour nowadays, as several golfers are well over 6 feet tall. Bobby Jones never turned professional, thus it is amazing that he secured the coveted Grand Slam. Although the career Grand Slam has been repeated, only Bobby Jones has achieved the true Grand Slam of winning 4 majors in a calendar year. If that doesn't make him stick out as one of the 10 shortest golfers to have an impact on the game, then nothing will. Next, we have Corey Pavin. While Corey Pavin doesn't exactly stand at 5'8", he is regarded as one of the top golfers on the PGA Tour. Pavin once rose high as the second-ranked golfer in the world. Corey Pavin continued to play golf on the Champions Tour after leaving the PGA Tour. You could almost always count on Pavin as one of the players at the top of the leaderboard in a major tournament or event throughout the late 1980s and early 1990s. Corey Pavin finished with a total of 15 PGA Tour victories. He even won more money in 1991 than any other player on the tour, earning him the title of PGA Tour Player of the Year. Pavin has also competed abroad and achieved success there. Being unable to hit the ball very far is one of the factors that makes Pavin's career so intriguing. Pavin would be far behind in terms of yardage skills compared to other players on the PGA Tour today. He does, however, have some outstanding short game talents, which we would all be envious of, that greatly aids in scoring and maintaining competitiveness in all the events that he played in. He spent 150 weeks in the top 10 of the international golf rankings, which says a lot about the kind of player he was and his perseverance on the course. The next two golfers on the list stand at 5 feet and 7 inches. First, we have Jeff Sluman. Jeff Sluman is only approximately 5'7" tall, but he has a long and prominent career in the sport. Sluman won the PGA Championship when he was 30 years old. It was something after this victory before Sluman achieved victory on the circuit once more. Sluman continued to compete throughout his 30s and even into his 40s, winning additional PGA Tour matches. He has a reputation for consistently placing in the top 10 finishes during his career. There were occasions when he lost the competition, but was still able to place highly and display his talent. Sluman accomplished a very unusual achievement in the 1992 Masters by birdieing the 4th hole. Up until this point, this has never happened at the Masters. Sluman is probably spending time with his family or watching basketball when he isn't out playing golf. He was a very popular golfer who was perfectly capable of winning PGA Tour tournaments. Next, we have Brian Harman. Despite not having the same level of fame as some of the other golfers on our list, Brian Harman has 4 victories on the PGA Tour. It's likely that you witnessed some of Brian Harman's victories if you were a fan of golf between 2009 and 2015. Harman is from Sea Island, Georgia, and is 5'7" tall. Brian Harman's ambidexterity is one quality that makes him distinctive. He can play golf with either hand, but he prefers to use his right hand more frequently. Despite being less active than he once was in his prime, Harman continues to participate in a few tournaments. One thing to keep in mind about Brian Harman is that he never allowed his height to affect how far he was able to hit the golf ball, since he always had plenty of distance between his shots. The more you get to know these shorter golf pros, the more you realize they don't mind their small stature or how it affects their game. Brian Harman is one of those golfers who put in the most effort necessary to advance further on the PGA Tour than the majority of us would ever be able to. Next, we have 3 players that stand at 5'6" and under. Moving on, we have Gary Player. Gary Player, a golfer who stands at 5'6", is among the sport's most accomplished players with short height. Gary Player made the decision that he would represent health and fitness on the PGA Tour in addition to being short. Player, who is currently 88 years old, is still in fantastic shape and has a long ball flight. The well-known Gary Player entered the professional ranks in 1960 and has since earned 160 victories. In the game of golf today, accumulating this many victories is rare. In essence, tournaments were up for grabs every week back when Jack, Arnie, and Gary were playing, and these guys just dominated. Gary Player is a strong supporter of both the sport and golf instruction. He has committed a substantial portion of his professional life to writing books about golf and health tips. Without question, this man has discovered some intriguing strategies for maintaining physical and mental fitness while on the course. course. Gary Player has won matches all over the world and has a total of 9 major championships to his credit. Player goes by many labels, and one that fits him well is Mr. Fitness. He still plays a little golf for enjoyment and still hits the first shots at the Masters, but these days he spends most of his time working on charitable projects. Next, we have Gene Sarazen. Gene Sarazen will probably be mentioned when discussing golfers who have had an impact on the game's history. Sarazen, who stands 5 feet 5.5 inches, has won 7 major titles and achieved the career Grand Slam. Ben Hogan, Jack Nicklaus, and Tiger Woods are the only other players to have completed the career Grand Slam, which is an extremely uncommon feat for athletes. Sarazen also invented and employed the sand wedge, among his other innovations in the game. Before this, players tried a variety of other strategies to free the ball from the sand trap, but none were as successful as the contemporary sand wedge. In 1935, Sarazen secured his last major title at the Masters. The shot that many golfers refer to as the shot heard around the world is played in this well-known competition. Sarazen was successful in recording an albatross on the 15th hole at Augusta National during the Masters. Ian Woosnam comes next on the list. The 1970s, 1980s, and 1990s saw some great golf from European player Ian Woosnam. He is Welsh and stands 5'4". In 1976, Woosnam became a professional, and he has since won 52 different competitions. Woosnam was beginning to significantly aid European players in establishing a presence on the PGA Tour. At the time he started winning tournaments, Woosnam has collected 52 victories, which are spread out across the PGA Tour and the European Tour. He was able to get plenty of distance, despite being shorter than most golfers on the tour at the time. This was due to his extremely strong swing. The last 2 golfers on this list stand at 5 feet 1 inch. The shortest golf pro on our list is Tad Fujikawa. Despite being only 5'1", Fujikawa is still able to play and succeed on the PGA Tour. The intriguing thing about Fujikawa is that his small stature and unusual height have a backstory. At birth, Fujikawa weighed just under 2 pounds. He was very premature and in poor health. Doctors predicted that he had a very slim chance of living past infancy, let alone becoming a professional golfer. Because of a pregnancy issue, Fujikawa's mother gave birth early, and there were many questions about what Fujikawa would be able to do as an adult. At Wayne Foote, Fujikawa, a 15-year-old amateur, was able to earn a spot in the US Open. He ultimately became the youngest golfer to ever qualify for the US Open. The following year, at the Sony Open in his home state of Hawaii, Fujikawa was able to make the cut, despite not making it into the US Open. Even though he no longer competes nearly as frequently as he once did, Fujikawa remains an active player. This is more of a general path that his life has followed, and doesn't have to do with his height. Golfers have mastered the art of hitting the ball significantly farther throughout time, leaving us to question how many more 5'1" professional golfers there will be. The LPGA professional, Maria Jutanugarn, who stands at 5'1" inches tall, is the last on our list. Try being a 5'1" inch tall golfer if you believe it's challenging to gain distance and speed as a 5'7" inch tall golfer. Players of this height will need to put in a lot of effort to make sure their swing is effective and able to produce a lot of clubhead speed. For almost 10 years, Maria Jutanugarn has competed on the LPGA Tour. She was recognized as the LPGA Rookie of the Year for her 2013 campaign. She had achieved great success, especially considering how young she was when she first joined the LPGA Tour. It's interesting to note that Maria Jutanugarn, like the Molinari brothers, has a sister who competes on the LPGA Tour. That brings us to the end of this video. Now you know that you shouldn't let your height discourage you from being serious about golf. Which of the golfers on this list is your favorite? Let us know in the comments section. Please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.
Ball, watch it impact. Watch how that club is going